It's the holiday season. Be happy. You can be miserable next year when the shit really hits the fan. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line. This is being filmed on Friday afternoon after the markets have closed, and you'll probably get it on Saturday. So there's probably Christmas Eve, and a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a happy, healthy, prosperous New Year to all. But it is the holiday season, and no matter how bad things are, we still do have things to be thankful for. So at least be happy with your family and friends through this time of year, and you can be miserable next year, because I think next year there will be a lot to be miserable for. I've been around for a few years, 65, and I've never seen the country in this bad a shape. And I'm sure I'll get lots of hate mail, which I always get. But Merry Christmas to the haters as well. But again, at the end of the day, yes, America's the greatest country, but we are falling quickly into the shithouse. And it is getting scary as we continue to see the imbeciles at work. And again, whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, they're all stealing, okay? It doesn't matter. Just right now, the Democrats are doing it better, faster, and trying to convert everybody so it never becomes a problem. And that goes for your good friend Gavin Newsom, who is offering or wants to get past $220,000 per person for reparations in California for all the minorities. And again, why does anybody deserve reparations? Okay, they weren't alive when it happened. I wasn't alive when it happened. Why should we be responsible to pay the tax on the money that the government wants to give away? I'm sick and tired of the Indian reservations and all the freebies that go out to those that might have been wronged hundreds of years ago when they weren't here and I wasn't here. Okay, we are in a free country. If these criminals that run this country would leave it free, you would actually have an opportunity to create a capitalistic system which would allow you to move forward and get to the next level, as did many in this country. Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and there's a million you can name. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but one of the guys who ran for president, the Godfather's Pizza. But in the meantime, you've got government trying to continue to intervene. Worldwide, this is going on. This is not just here, but we are the land of the free and the home of the brave. And thank God for the brave, because this country could be in real trouble, but hopefully we'll get through it. I mean, we've got an imbecile as a president. We've got a bunch of criminals on both sides of the aisle who just passed a ridiculous $1.8 trillion omnibus spending bill to keep the government open. Who wants the government to stay open? I don't want it to stay open. Do you? Let them shut down. Okay, let's go back to the Constitution when the federal government was not the biggest employer in the world. Let's go back to using our own natural resources as we continue to see the ridiculous energy crisis, that we're talking about, the climate change and the ESG and all the other crap that goes along with it. Okay, and not to mention, you have Canada. Canadian government tells kids they'll be on Santa's naughty list if they don't get the vaccine and wear masks. Now, being one who has been vaccinated, I wish I never got it. Okay, and I don't understand where the Canadian government's getting off. I mean, we know how dumb they are. Okay, but what the fuck? Are we going to continue to reach this mask mandate, this vaccine and mask mandate? Okay, I mean, this energy crisis is just getting started. Okay, it is so sad when I look at what was going on here, and I watch, and you think that the carbon footprint has gotten better because we've decided to destroy our economy, because we've decided to raise inflation to unsustainable rates that we can afford, that we're losing jobs by the millions. Okay, and do you think that we can actually sustain this? Of course, that's what this party in power today wants. They want the Great Reset. They want you to be dependent on the government. They don't want you to have the chance of capitalism and a free world and to go out and make your own way. Okay? They don't want anybody discovering America again. I mean, it is ridiculous. Look at existing home sales down for the 10th month in a row, down another 8%. What do you think? This is just going to go away like magic? Is President Biden going to make a magic wand and say, oh, it's all fixed now? I mean, he doesn't know where he's at now. He thinks he's on Pluto. Okay, with what he says. I mean, it's almost laughable if it wasn't so sad that the man thinks that he's doing a good job when he's destroying the middle class of this country. Okay? And of course, you know, we've all gone through this ridiculous thing with Venmo and PayPal, and they want to, every $600 charge, you got to report. Well, fortunately, they pushed that back another year. But again, just think about this. This is the way that they're continuing to destroy your freedom. This is the way that they're taking you apart piece by piece, okay, and turning you into little shit robots, okay? Now, again, if we look at what's going on in the EU, they want to put a carbon tax on individual. Now, are you out of your mind? Okay, put a carbon tax on individuals. Listen, can you run out and afford to buy a brand new electric car, which is not all that energy friendly to begin with because of what it takes to build it? But do you have the money or the capital to go buy one today? So let's put a carbon tax on you. Don't we tax enough? I mean, the EU is worse than the United States. All right? So, but let's go ahead and keep taxing people until they can't stand it anymore. Okay? You know, listen, we got big problems with Russia. And this is, we can call this the Ice Age. I mean, this is heading towards war. Okay, now I'm not predicting a war with Russia. Okay, I am predicting a revolutionary war in this country, but I'm not predicting a war with Russia. But this is heading in that direction. And with this moronic environment that we're in, and with this administration, who continues to feed our money to Ukraine for what? Okay, to keep the war going on so that all the politicians and everybody in Ukraine, the oligarchs in Ukraine and in Russia continue to benefit from the war that shouldn't be going on right now. Okay, and we continue to give in to China. Is that the country that you think is the greatest country in the world now? Okay, this is the problem that we are now experiencing from this stupid ass trade for Brittany Griner for the murderer. Okay, instead of at least bringing home a Marine. All right, now we have more of this going on. So, you know, be aware that there's a lot of stuff that's going to be ugly, and it's going to be very ugly for the economy. Okay, we are not going to be able to overcome all of these things that are happening in the economy. Okay, and of course the January 6th, the whatever, what they call that? I forgot what they called it already. But the dumbest waste of money. Okay, first of all, who was culpable for the January 6th? Yes, I know that we'll blame it on President Trump. That I have no problem with, okay? But who else was culpable? And who else made it the nasty thing that it was? Okay? So we got an 845-page report that nobody will ever read. Okay? Just like all the spending bills that go through, nobody ever reads them. They just sign off or they vote on them. Okay? It's a bunch of bullshit. Okay? So, you know, was Trump responsible in some way? Sure he was. Okay? But was the insurrection, was it a major crisis? No. And certainly we know that there was some Democrat involvement in a lot of these protesters and those little shit pricks that were there stoking the fires and the flames. So again, we can say whatever we want. We can go into this as deep as you want. But again, you as Americans have to quit blaming one person for your problems and for the troubles that you might have had happen to you. Because I assure you that this shit administration isn't going to fix them for you. Okay? And of course, I think big news for the crypto world, Russia's close to legalizing international trade in Bitcoin and other cryptos. So again, all of a sudden, you know, it may not be happening here, but among the world, it is starting to become real. And again, I'm not telling you go out and buy cryptos now. Please don't run to the market and buy. I'm telling you that I think that they're real. I think they have a chance. And I think if you have extra capital that you can afford to lose, they're probably worth looking at. Okay? But in the meantime, there's a big mess coming and there's a big storm coming. Not the vortex we just got, okay? But a big storm in the economy. And I will tell you this, that I believe the markets will be down 50 to 60% in 2023. I think the commodities boom, and I think that there's a lot of trouble that if we keep turning our back on, it's going to get really ugly for most of us. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is, I'm not sure what day this is coming out, but today is Friday, the 23rd of December. And of course, again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and have a healthy one. And even to you haters, Merry Christmas to you as well. In the meantime, we're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with more in my market update after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line, Friday, December the 23rd. Well, kids, as I always remind you, and again, there's no better time to remind you than now, as you do your taxes and find out that you get ripped off on the brokerage fees that you're paying at other places, okay, especially in your equities, when you can have TryTrader for $10 a month, okay? And again, their link is on the site. It's try.trader.com/Bubba. There's so many benefits that they offer. And I have other brokers, but I recommend them to you because, again, it saves me over $100,000 a year in commission. And for a futures and commodities house, capital trading group, there's nobody better. Okay, again, first of all, they do all of our letter of direction trading. They're priced fairly with everybody else. And when you call on the phone, if you have a problem, when you're calling a broker, you're not calling to say how you doing. You're calling because you got a problem. Okay, but their capital trading group, check them out on the side. Their links are there. And of course, our high school program, which this will be my last year to attempt to get this thing to work. You know, it's a problem when you can't get the teachers to teach it. Okay, when you can't give a program away for free that I was spending over $50,000 a year of my own money, and I can't get them to teach it now. So we'll see what happens. We're going to give it one last attempt in the meantime. Let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and of course our market update right now. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Friday, December the 23rd, the Christmas Eve. And of course the markets they were kind of mixed today. But they got hammered pretty good this week. And I think this is only, as the Carpenter sung, we've only just begun. Okay, I think that 2023 holds in store a real nasty beatdown. I think that you've got really some big troubles in this country, and the economy looks to be in pretty serious, sad shape right now. And I don't see it getting any better. That's the real problem. So I think that, I think it's going to be a crash for equities, and I think it's going to be a boom time for the commodities. We've underpriced them for so long, but we'll see. In the meantime, as we look at them now, going in before Saturday's report, remember, right now we are short the equities across the board, okay? And they were down across the board this week, and we are short, okay? In the currency markets, euro currency has been going higher. We're still long. The dollar is still going lower, and we're still short. So we're pretty much on target. Again, listen, I believe the euro currency is going under $1 again. I believe it's going under 88 cents. But right now, for whatever reason, the dollar's going lower and the euro currency is going higher. Bitcoin is just stuck between 15 and 18,000. Okay, listen, I like Bitcoin. I own some. I think it's going a lot higher, but it could go to zero. Okay, but with the Russia thing, and that is another positive. Bonds and notes have had a pretty sloppy week. I would say this to you, look, I don't like our position. I have it on, okay, because I do not change or fight, the market. I don't fight the tape, okay, but I do not like being long bonds or notes. I want to be short them. I think interest rates are going a lot higher. I think the 10-year is getting to 6%, okay, and I think inflation has only just begun as well, and it's pretty nasty, although they won't admit to it. Gold and silver are trying to go higher, but they can't seem to break through that upper end of resistance. But we're long both gold and silver, and would be long platinum, but except that we don't trade it because it's not liquid enough. But again, they're all trying to charge higher, and I think they do go much higher in 2023. But again, remember, it's one level at a time. No, I'm not going to give you a number, but one level at a time. Copper is stuck in a range. We're still long, but again, I don't understand. From a fundamental side, there's going to be where's the demand going to come from? Copper, As we look at the grain markets, the grains are kind of sloppy. Okay, they popped a little bit this week, and we're still short corn, we're short wheat, we're long beans. But overall, again, I think they're all going higher. I think, look, I still say $10 corn, $15 wheat, and $20 beans. So we'll see. In the protein complex, I think they're just all in a range. Okay, we're long cattle, short hogs. But again, I wouldn't care if I didn't have a position in either. It's a natural position because it goes with our stuff. But I wouldn't care if I didn't have a position because I think they're in a band and they're going to churn back and forth in that band depending on the price of oil. Okay, and natural gas is getting pounded. It looks to get ready to go under $5. Okay, and crude is getting ready to go over 80. Now, again, we're short crude, short natural gas. I'm not thrilled at the short crude because I think crude's going to all-time highs next year. But again, I'm not going to fight, what I do or what the system is. Okay, and as we look at the softs, cocoa is, been kind of chirpy. We're still short. Cotton, we're still short. Sugar, we're long. OJ, we're long. And coffee, we're short. Look, I think at some point next year, we'll be long all the commodities because I think they're going to explode higher. I think the markets are in trouble. I think there's a lot of issues out here that we refuse to identify, but they're going to show up. They have to show up eventually. You cannot continue to hide from the issues. In the meantime, let's see what happens. We're going to continue to trend trade the way we always do because the markets in 2022 have really just been in one big wide consolidation bed. So we're going to step out here for our final break, and we'll come back with, of course, my commentary and a lot of football for the weekend. Bubba's Bottom Line on Friday, December the 23rd. Well, kids, again, just a quick reminder, I'm not going to go through all the stuff with the brokers, but again, I've got other brokers, just remember, full disclosure, but the ones I prefer are on the sides. Trade your brokerage for equities and options. They auto trade for us at no charge. If you use our hedging model, you have to pay a licensing fee to us. Our equity program is no charge. It's $10 a month flat. Capital Trading Group does all of our love direction trading. We're partners with them on Day Trader's Dream. They are phenomenal companies. Okay, they've got great customer service. I would give them all my business. Okay, because I think that they are the best at what they do. And of course, our high school program, which we continue to try to educate our youth as well as some of our adults, because I think a lot of us need a financial education. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, my commentary and my football. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Friday, December the 23rd. And, of course, I think you'll probably get this on the 24th. But either way, you have plenty of time for the football picks. And, every week I give you some commentary. And, again, today I'm going to give you the commentary of simply this. Okay? If you've ever seen the movie It's a Wonderful Life, remember that it is truly a wonderful life, and life is a precious gift. But it is what we do with our lives that really make the much bigger difference. It's how we dedicate ourselves to our family and to our friends and the time that we put in. And certainly I work my ass off trying to, provide you with, some financial commentary and try to do the best job that I can of giving you a great education in the short periods that we can be together and help you. And I hope that you take those information that I give you as fact that I am actually trying to help. Okay, I'm not selling anything. I'm trying to help you give better financial information to yourself. Okay, and I think that you have to remember that it is truly a wonderful life, and we have to be thankful for the life that we have, and of course we also have to be mindful of what's going wrong so that we don't ignore the problems. Okay, and I think that is my Christmas message to you, is to, again, be thankful, but also don't ignore the problems that exist. We must address them, or they're going to get too big and they'll be out of control, and will be out of control. And in America, the citizens are supposed to be in control. In the meantime, I want to also give a special shout out to my friend Kurt. Had a tragic accident months ago and is making a great recovery, and I hope you make a full recovery. I love you. I think about you, and I pray for you every day, as I pray for anybody else who is ailing. But as far as football, and we got football today, we got pros, we got college, we got football tomorrow, and we got football Monday, so we got a busy weekend. But in college today, in the bowl games, we like San Diego State -7. We like New Mexico State plus the 3. In pros, we like the Vikings against the Giants minus the 3 or 4. We like the Cincinnati Bengals as our best bet of the week, minus 3, 3.5. Philadelphia we like against the Cowboy, but it's got to be plus 6, not plus the 4 it is right now. It was 6, okay? And, of course, we like the Pittsburgh Steelers for our friend Franco Harris, who unfortunately passed away this week on the weekend of the Immaculate Reception. And to all of you, Merry Christmas, Happy Healthy New Year. To all, even the haters, Merry Christmas to all of you. Enjoy, spend time with your family and friends. And as always, I thank you for being a part of Bubba's Bottom Line. Good night, everybody.